Welcome back to Views with Hughes, your different news. This is Jerome Hughes, and I want to provide an updated video about the breaking news that I provided yesterday. I do want to also apologize for the bad audio quality. My microphone settings were adjusted a bit too loudly. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So as I stated yesterday, Jim Cramer, host on CNBC, decided to go ahead and announce that, well, he's decided to just vote for Nelson Peltz and his shareholder candidates. Okay. So not shareholder candidates, but the board member candidates. So for those who might not be in the loop, CNBC runs an investing show with Jim Cramer and another host. They offer membership for investment advice, share market insights and stories. And recently, at their second annual meeting, Cramer openly supported voting for Nelson Peltz and Jay Rasulo, sparking interest since CNBC is typically the go-to for Disney financial news, with Bob Iger frequently appearing on the channel. Now, this move by Cramer may signal a shift in their stance towards Disney. It's also noteworthy because CNBC's lead investing voice is suggesting the change might be necessary for financial gain, hinting at dissatisfaction with Disney's current management. Now, the critique itself is that Disney's leadership seems to be steering the company towards disaster, implying that the new leadership might correct the course. Now, at the heart of this discussion, CNBC's investment club meeting in New York, where Cramer endorsed Peltz and Rasulo for Disney's board. Now, this is significant because it's tied to an upcoming proxy battle at Disney, indicating a pivotal moment for the company's future leadership and direction. Now, Disney is also urging shareholders to maintain the current leadership, presenting a narrative of successful management. However, the entrance of Nelson Peltz and Jay Rasulo, representing a push for change, actually introduces a dynamic contest for control, contrasted by Disney's efforts to maintain the status quo. Now, Cramer's endorsement for Peltz and Rasulo to join Disney's board is a major talking point. It also suggests that a desire for accountability and a turnaround in Disney's stock performance, emphasizing the need for leadership that is directly invested in the company's success. Now, here's the kicker right here. It seems to me that even this portion of the mainstream media is actually late to the party. The fans have been saying this for a long time now, okay? And the fact of the matter is, they're like about 4 or 5 years, probably 7 years late. You know, they kept going out there and doing the back end bidding of Disney and everything, along with the different trade outlets and stuff. And now we're seeing that everyone's starting to see a catch up, and start speaking out against the company now. Now, the debate extends to the composition of Disney's board, with criticisms about the lack of personal investment by current board members. This lack of what's quoted as the skin in the game is seen as a detriment to swift and effective decision-making needed to address the company's challenges. Now, this also is concern itself is about board members' investment in the companies they govern. It's not unique to Disney, reflecting a broader issue in corporate governance. Now, the argument is that personal financial stakes could motivate board members to act in the best interests of the company and its shareholders. Now, Cramer's respect for individual board members does not extend to their collective effectiveness, highlighting a perceived lack of urgency to address Disney's issues. Peltz, in contrast, is presented as someone with significant personal investment and a track record of seeking change. Well, I mean, that's actually quite understandable, because the man actually in his company has about around $3 billion invested in the company. The company's not even doing so well, and it's not even making him a profit. He actually put a pause before on his whole proxy fight and stuff to give Bob Iger, as well as the rest of the board, the chance to actually prove themselves, to put out their better content, better movies, so that way they'll get a chance to make more money for the company and stuff, and give the investment firms, profit. Problem is, Disney's made flop after flop after flop, and disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, to the point where now Nelson Peltz is not even seeing profit in return. Okay, and then there's also accusations of conflicts of interest are to be anticipated, especially with the ties between Peltz and Perlmutter and Cramer. However, the narrative actually suggests the focus on the potential for a positive change at Disney rather than personal vendettas or conflicts. Now, the call for Disney to actually improve involves a desire for higher stock values, reduced costs, and an end to unsuccessful projects. This particular perspective actually is fueled by the belief that Disney is actually underperforming in various areas, including its streaming services and film production. Now, comparisons with Netflix and Universal highlight Disney's perceived failures in content creation, as well as theme park management or the lack thereof, suggesting a loss of the company's traditional strengths and market dominance. Now, the advocacy for change is based on the belief that the new board members can question the status quo and prevent poor decision-making, with Cramer citing positive feedback from CEOs who have worked with Peltz. A simple approach to improvement is suggested. Stop doing what is not working. It's simple. This implies the need for fresh perspectives on Disney's board, challenging existing strategies and practices, okay? Now, the targeting of specific board members for replacement is seen as an effort to introduce voices that will not automatically align with Iger's views, suggesting a desire for a more critical and independent board. Because remember, Bob Iger did choose the current board based on the fact that he knows that these are people that's going to be doing his bidding. So in other words, these are his personal yes men. Okay. Now, the anticipation of positive change is linked to the potential influence of Peltz and Jay Rasulo, with some actually attributing recent positive movements in Disney stocks to their involvement and proposed changes. Now, Disney's response to the challenge posed by Peltz and Rasulo introduces strategic announcements and efforts to appeal to nostalgia. In other words, like the classic stuff with the classic Star Wars, and basically trying to get people, the shareholders, to vote for them because they want to go ahead and see Disney restored to what it once was before. Okay. And it's also viewed skeptically as last-minute attempts to sway shareholder opinion. And guess what? That shareholder opinion seems to be working at this point. Now, the concern within Disney about the proxy battle reflects the fear of losing control on Bob Iger's part, with the company's reactive measures seen as evidence of its vulnerability. So in other words, Disney's getting scared. Bob Iger's getting scared. His board is getting scared because of the fact that they're about to lose their power. They're about to see a change into what's actually going to happen also. Okay. Now, this particular argument also against viewing Peltz's campaign as a hostile takeover emphasizes the limited yet significant impact that winning 2 board seats could have on Disney's direction. Now, the broader competitive landscape is forcing Disney to actually adapt or face a big, steep decline, with the current leadership criticized for only acting under the direct threat from competitors and internal challenges. Now, the CNBC Investing Club's meeting in New York serves as a platform for Cramer to share his stance on the Disney proxy battle, framing it as a part of a broader effort to guide investors toward profitable decisions. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Do you think that this might be a possible conflict of interest on Cramer, Perlmutter, and Peltz's part, or do you think that it's just more fluff that this is going to go ahead and try to put out there so that way they can have a bigger stake in this? Because guess what? There's like a number of shareholders out there who's actually against what they're putting out there, and they're not going to see this as a possible conflict of interest because of the fact that, well, I mean, if you ask me, and I could be wrong about this, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it seems to me since Bob Iger chose his own directors and stuff for the board, that seems a bit of a conflict of interest if you ask me, you know. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts that I didn't touch on this particular topic. If you enjoyed that sharing the video, go ahead, smash the like button, share far wide across social media. And if you have done so already, you enjoyed all the content I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Until then, peace.